The Godzilla Challenger decks release on June 21st, and thanks to UVS Games, I've been sent a couple of these decks to open up early. What comes in a Godzilla Challenger Series deck? They have it here on the back. We get a ready-to-play 60-card deck, 3 all-new characters. It comes with Godzilla, Mothra, and Mechagodzilla, and you get a collector's booster pack. In this other deck, it focuses on King Ghidorah. So the 3 characters that we get are King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla Bionic Menace. So each of these characters come with a bonus Mechagodzilla, this one with Kuryu and this one with Bionic Menace. But this one has King Ghidorah and Rodan, and this one has Godzilla and Mothra. And each of them play a little bit differently. They each come with this 60-card deck, and you can put any character you want on top of the 60-card deck. So if you pull this and you start playing with it right outside of the box, and you get bored of playing Godzilla, switch out Godzilla for Mothra, and you'll have an entirely new play experience with the same 60-card deck. The people that I would recommend these decks to the most are, number 1, collectors. This is going to be the only Godzilla Universes product. There aren't any booster sets right now or clash decks for Godzilla. This is really it right now, is these Challenger decks. And for collectors, you also get this collector booster pack, which is going to have 6 random alt art or foil cards to enhance your deck. The alternate art characters we have seen in these Challenger decks to be really rare. In the past, those typically sell for hundreds of dollars if you open one. So from a collector standpoint, if you're a big Godzilla fan, absolutely get these decks, collect the collector packs, get all of your alternate art cards and your foil cards that you possibly can. These decks are also really good for veterans of the game. They're very competitive right outside the box. You could buy this deck, take it, sleeve it up, and do pretty darn well at your locals. I don't think I would recommend these decks for beginners in the game. If you have never played a game of Universes before and you're interested in starting out, I would recommend starting out with a Clash deck product rather than a Challenger Series product. These are going to be a little more complex. It's not that you can't learn the game with Godzilla. You absolutely could. But I would recommend having someone that understands the game working beside you to give you a tutorial. If you're just playing with your friend who also doesn't know Universes and you immediately pull these open, you might have a little bit of a tough time learning the rules. Absolutely jump on the Discord, jump into my Discord, ask questions, and I'll try and help you as much as possible. But if you're just learning, if you want to learn Universes, I'd probably recommend a different product. If you're a veteran in the game, if you're a Godzilla collector, then you have come to the right place. This is the deck for you. I honestly believe that these decks are peak Universes. These are, in my opinion, the best Universes product we have ever had released. Now, I've only been a player for 2 years, so take what I say with a grain of salt when I talk about all time, when this is a game that's been around since 2006. But since I've been a player, at least, this is peak Universes. These decks are incredible. They're highly competitive, and they did a great job on the art. Okay, I'm stalling here a little bit. I'll get right into opening these up. Let me just say that I'm not going to talk about every single card here from a competitive standpoint. I'm going to save that for another video. I'll release that here in a couple days. Today, I just want to focus on how do these cards look and feel when you open them. And let's see what I get in my collector booster pack. All right, I have the deck open, and you can see right away that this is a 60-card deck, which means that this is pretty darn thick. We have Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 6-hander, 34 health. Mechagodzilla, Kuryu, 5-hander, 34 health. And Mothra, Giant Moth Monster, 8-hand size, 21 health. Before I jump into the cards, let me just talk about these 3 characters. I'll kind of line them up here like this. Each of these characters, what they have in common is that they like big attacks. Godzilla is giving all of your attacks with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater damage, with a difficulty of 5 or greater, plus 3 damage. Mechagodzilla, every time you play an attack with a difficulty of 5 or greater, you're drawing a card. You can also discard a card for EX or powerful abilities for big stats. And Mothra, you can commit Mothra to get speed equal to the difficulty of an attack. So all of these characters like high difficulty attacks. They're just, they're big monsters and they want to play big attacks. Let's put our characters up here and jump into the rest of the deck. The first thing you're going to get is two copies of City Rampage. This is an action that says all of your attacks with like 5 difficulty or greater are going to get +1 damage, +1 speed, and they're going to be easier to play. Let's put City Rampage down over there. Next up, we get 2 copies of Gathering Energy. I think all of these foil cards at the beginning you're going to get 2 copies of, and then like 4 copies of the non-foil cards. But this is a crazy 1 difficulty asset. When you take damage, you remove the top card of your deck, and then later you can remove this to look at those cards that you removed and then add 2 to your hand. This is Mothra's best attack by far, Electric Moth. Wouldn't you know it? The card with Mothra on the art is his best attack, but it has this giant enhance that you get to ready your character after this attack resolves, which means that with Mothra, you can give this 4 speed and then just ready up Mothra right after this attack resolves. This is Godzilla's main attack, Heat Ray, 6 difficulty, 7 low for 6. It's going to get a ton of damage based on all the attacks with 5 difficulty or greater in your discard pile. And that is it for the foil cards. Then we come, oh wait. We have one more foil here. No, we have a lot more. Sorry. We're just in our foundations now. We get History's Greatest Monster. When you play like a card with 5 difficulty or greater, you get to ready this up if it's committed. Also an incredible Deadlock. We get Shobiji's Message. One of the best 1 difficulty foundations in the game, giving your block Breaker 2. And now that is going to do it for our foil cards, and then we get to the bulk of the deck. So as for your foil cards, you get Shobiji's Message, History's Greatest Monster, Heat Ray, Electric Moth, Gathering Energy, and City Rampage. Now let's get into the bulk of the deck. We get Destructive Slam, this massive throw attack. You're going to get 3 copies. Flying Zap, 3 high 2. If it deals damage, you're going to get yourself another Momentum. Mothra and Godzilla both love Momentum. Kaiju Clash, very fast, 6 difficulty, 5 damage, has powerful 3 on it. You're going to get 3 or 4 of those. Mega Burst, this is a really fun card. Has stun 0, but it gets extra stun for every attack in your card pool. So it's a 5 difficulty that wants to be played late. Smashing Stomp is maybe the best attack of the deck, in my opinion. This is a 4 low 6. If it deals damage, you're going to draw a card. Your next check to play an attack is +1, so it's a 5 difficulty attack that plays more like a 4 difficulty attack. Oh, and it also has EX3, and it's also a 2 low block, and it's pretty darn good stats. This just has it all. I love Smashing Stomp. Ferocious Attacker, flip to draw a card. We always like that on our 1 difficulty cards. Then we get Incomparable Size. This attack is +2 or -2 damage. We get Monster Aggression. Destroy a foundation for +1 speed, +1 damage. What a great trade-off for a spam foundation, and it's a 2 low block. I'm telling you, these cards are very, very competitive. Moth Monster. Commit for -2 speed. If you've taken damage, it gets -3 speed. And look down here, it's a 6 check, and it's a nice 2 high block. Titanic Combat. If you take damage, you're going to be able to commit this and then build the top card of your deck committed. And you can commit this for +2 damage and your rival commits 1. We get our 0 diff Tough Skin. You're playing this primarily because it's a 0 difficulty foundation. Unmatched Power. Remove, it gets +X damage. X equals its printed difficulty. Mothra really likes an attack called Walk the Dog, which is 8 printed difficulty. And you can use this to give that 8 damage. And then use Mothra to give it 8 speed. Unstoppable Force. This one is nuts. Commit, return your attack to its printed speed. So if your rival uses like Barrier Shield, takes your damage to or speed to 0, you can use this and take it right back to printed. So that is what you're getting in the deck. This is the bulk of the deck. You're getting 3 or 4 copies of all of these. I love the artwork on these cards. That's what excites me most here, is simply how these cards look. And also, they made a few updates here with Godzilla. The biggest update that I love is they took keywords. They used to be down here on attacks, and they put them up. They made this little bar, and they put them right underneath the title of the card. I love that change. Okay, let's now get into the collector booster pack. What we all came here to see. Do I pull an alternate art Godzilla? If I do, I'm going to freak out. We got a foil Flying Zap. So this is one of those cards that's not foil in the bulk over here. Foil Flying Zap. Foil Unstoppable Force. I'm going to want to play a set of these. Foil Swooping Talons. Now, we did not see this card in the Godzilla deck. These collector booster packs can have cards from Godzilla and cards from King Ghidorah. So if you're wondering, hey, wait a second, we didn't see Swooping Talons. That's right. It's a King Ghidorah deck card. Oh, my heart skipped a beat because I thought that was a character. I thought that was an alternate art character, but holy cow, we got an alternate art Death from Above. This attack is nuts. 6 difficulty, 6 high 3. It's a Rodon attack, so I'll get to it in just a little bit. But if you have 8 or more cards in your remove pile, you're going to draw 2, and it's going to get plus X damage. X equals the you get to remove an attack, and it equals its printed damage. So you could remove like a 6 damage attack. This is going to be like a 6 high 9 draw 2 on a 6 diff. We like that. And it's a 4 block modifier, which is going to matter for Rodon. We'll get into Rodon in just a little bit. Ooh, Overwhelming Gravity Beam. Focused Gravity Beam. All right, we got a lot of Ghidorah cards in here. We got a lot of Ghidorah and Rodon cards. So Godzilla Challenger deck, but we open up the collector booster, and our best hits are from Ghidorah and Rodon. Right here, this attack is going to be money, guys. I'm going to put that up here. Okay, let's put up our rares now and jump into King Ghidorah. And here we have King Ghidorah. I love the art on this guy. Also, I think like from a character design standpoint, this guy's my favorite. In the King Ghidorah's deck, we get King Ghidorah, Mecha Godzilla, and Rodon. So while Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, Kuryu, and Mothra all were designed around big difficulty attacks, Rodon, Bionic, and King Ghidorah are all designed around your removed from game pile. Rodon is going to remove the top of your discard for plus or minus speed. King Ghidorah is going to remove something in your discard, and then you can play it that turn. Bionic is going to remove the top of your deck. Or King Ghidorah is going to, remove a card from your hand, and then you can choose something in your discard to play. And then Bionic is going to remove the top cards of your deck for massive damage and speed. And so each of these characters works around removing cards from the game, but they're all very, very different. King Ghidorah is this character that stays alive for forever because he has this 3 heads mechanic where he's always at 10 health. But if you kill him, he comes back to life. If you kill him, he comes back to life again. Mecha Godzilla is this super aggressive character, and Rodon is this super defensive character. So they all play super, super different, but around the same fundamental game mechanic. Which is just really neat about these challenger decks, that you have the same 60 cards that can just be played so differently depending on the character that you put on top. First off, we get this action, Combined Firepower. Guys, this action right here is nuts. Just about 2 hours ago, I was practicing with a team member and I was playing Rodon, and Combined Firepower gave me so much damage, and it always gave me access to a mid block. Doesn't count towards progressive. It can add damage. You get 2 copies there. Golden Death. Oh, you can play this out of your discard pile. That's what makes it so nuts. When you remove a card from the game, you can respond with this from the discard pile and say, I can play this during the attack, either as a block or as an enhance for more damage. Golden Death. Look at the art on this, guys. That looks so good. Death from Above. This is the normal Death from Above. Again, you can see that we got this alternate art Death from Above in our first collector booster pack. So the cards that come in your deck foil are going to have alternate art treatments in the collectors, and the cards that come in not foil are simply going to be foil in your collector booster pack. And then this attack right here, guys, try Gravity Beam, 4 mid, 5 destroy a foundation, remove a card from your rival's hand, and you get to look at their hand. And you get to give it +2 damage, and it has Deadlock Stun 3. This has it all. I suspect we're going to see this attack a lot in the meta. Monster Zero. We get a remove. Your rival removes a card from the hand. If they have 8 or more foundations, this gets 3 damage. A lot of this deck also revolves around taxing your rival's hand. So we saw that with Tri-Gravity Beam, and now we see it with this foundation as well. Super Sonic Flight. This is a 4 block, so it's going to work really well with Rodon. It's also when you remove it, you're going to get to draw a card, which is going to work well with all of these characters. And then we get into our non-foil cards. Falling Crush, 3 low, 3 slam, remove something for 2 damage, and it's a 1 low block. That's not bad at all. 4 of those. Focused Gravity Beam, stun 1, powerful 3, 4 difficulty, 1 high block. Multiple bites. Hey, 4 difficulty, 3 mid 6. If you've removed a card, draw a card. Well, all of these characters are going to remove a card. So basically, this is just a 4 diff, 3 mid 6, draw a card. We know that'll see play. Overwhelming Gravity Beam. This is basically like a throw. 1 mid 5 throw for all intents and purposes. Next up, Swooping Talons, 2 high 7 with EX3. So it packs a good punch. And then if you have your momentum, you can dump it in to get your speed. We're going to get 4 of those. Battle for Dominance. This foundation's nuts. This is nuts. You get to remove a card from your card pool on your rival's turn. If you did, draw 1 card. And it's a 2 low block. Spam Foundation that you flip to draw a card and give all of your rival attacks effectively -1 speed. Evasive Maneuver, 1 diff, commit for -2 speed. If it's a low, you get -3. Guys, we're seeing a lot of all low decks recently with Godzilla, Amajiki, Toga. You're going to want to run Evasive Maneuvers. Galactic Monsters, this is something you can play as a form from your removed from game pile. That's going to work really well with all of these characters. Malicious Evil, 1 difficulty, basically stop your rival from using one of their foundations. Quick Arrival, destroy a foundation for some speed. That's not bad for a spam foundation at all. Relentless Challenger, this is nuts in King Ghidorah. And of course, we've got King Ghidorah here. You see one of his heads is chopped off. Well, that doesn't matter. He's got 2 more heads still ready to fight. It says if you have 10 or less health, this attack is +1 or -1 damage. Well, King Ghidorah is always at 10 or less health. And then he just revives himself. 0 difficulty, foundation, flip for -1 damage. Not much to say about that one. And finally, Triple Trouble. Look at the art on this, guys. We got King Ghidorah coming up here behind Godzilla. Flip, your rival discards a card. They may remove 1 foundation or 1 momentum to cancel this effect. And that is going to do it for the King Ghidorah and Rodon Challenger deck. Now let's move to our collector booster and see what we get. Kaiju Clash. The Godzilla, 6 speed, 5 damage, powerful 3 move. Space Terror. Battle for Dominance. Nice. This is one that I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing a lot of Rodon competitively, by the way. Oh, Supersonic Flight. Nice. We got another Rodon alternate art. Smashing Stomp. Maybe my favorite attack from all these decks. And Focus Gravity Beam. I think that's our second Focus Gravity Beam. So check this out. My alternate arts. Oops, sorry. Let's put these over here. Stack up all of these ones. All right, so here we have our 6 characters, and the 2 alternate arts that I opened up in my collector boosters are both Rodon focused, which is my favorite character coming from this set. Like King Ghidorah is probably my favorite flavor-wise, but Rodon's my favorite from a competitive standpoint, and I'm going to be playing a lot of Rodon. He's probably one of the top 3 characters I'm considering for play in St. Louis. I'll be doing a deck profile on my build here probably in just a couple weeks. We got his main attack and his main foundation. When we remove this, we get to draw a card. And we get to change the attack zone to high. It gets +2 speed and +3 damage. That's not bad at all. And Rodon loves these 4 block modifiers for +or -4 speed. So you can see just how amazing these alternate art cards look. And when we opened the collector boosters, we could see that we were getting basically 5 foil cards from these non-foil versions, changing them to foil. For example, let's look at that Battle for Dominance one here. Here we have normal, and here we have the collector booster. You can see it's basically just getting that nice foil treatment on it. And then you get one that's either a character or one of your foil cards from inside. You know, there's a City Rampage, there's a Gathering Energy. Any of these you could get as an alternate art, but you're only going to get about 1 alternate art per collector booster. At least that's what it looks like from my experience here in this box opening. So again, guys, this releases June 21st. Make sure to go to your local game store and pick these up. If you're a veteran of the game, if you are a collector, if you're a beginner and you have somebody to help teach you, then this is the product for you. In my opinion, it's the best Universes product of all time. I hope you enjoyed this box opening, and I'll see you next time.